Good morning. Hey, hello to everybody, all you politics fans out there. Once again, this is a special week. Vincent Wong's out, and Andrew Work has taken over his chair, and we've brought in Simon Lee to help out this week. Simon.
Nice to meet you.
All right, good to have you. Good to have you in. Okay, Simon, big day in politics today. Everybody's holding their breath. You know, I'm going to get my plug in for the last Harbor Times. We had our big issue. I didn't even know what to call it as a special. It was like the July 1st and 2nd mini Occupy Central, democracy, universal suffrage, all of that stuff. And today it all comes to a head.
Now it is the showdown.
Yeah.
Today, Carrie Lam is going to report on her consultation.
Yeah.
Which, well, I don't know if you had ever submitted any views, but I'm a bit curious how the administration can handle that, because everyone thinks he is the majority.
Yeah. Yes. There's the silent majority, the vocal majority. Everybody thinks a majority, but you can't have like 5 majorities.
Yes, and I think the problem with Hong Kong nowadays is no one really knows any, consensus can be achieved at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I don't think there can be any consensus.
Yeah, the hard part is measuring it, which you would normally do through a real, fully participatory democratic process. And some guys would say, at the end of the day, okay, we lost and those guys win, but we'll get a crack at them in a couple of years. But we don't really have that.
But the problem is, if you look at the problem numerically, yes, you're trying to see who is the majority.
Yeah.
But consensus is somewhat different. Consensus is about something that everyone can agree on.
Yeah.
And the government has been trying to say, okay, if we have universal suffrage at the end, is it the consensus? But it seems the Democrats been asking for more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is not even about the nomination, but how much Beijing can control Hong Kong's fate.
Yeah.
And I think there is the real difference, where the administration must answer if Hong Kong is really ruled by Hong Kong people.
Right.
Which goes back to the basic law.
Yeah, no, we'll kind of start with the philosophical, and then we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of what's going to happen today in Let's Go. But on the philosophical side, you said, you use this term consensus, but in an actual democracy, you don't have consensus. You have people who win and lose, and the losers basically say, all right, we'll put up with it for a few years, and then we get another crack at it, and hopefully we do better, and we win. But consensus is not like that. Like, dictators forge consensus.
When we say, the kind of majority rule always creates a divide. And this is not only in Hong Kong. In the States, people are talking about divide at the end of the day.
Everywhere. Britain, France, Canada,
this is the problem with this kind of populist version of democracy. It's not real democracy, it's majoritarian. And that is something Hong Kong people really are afraid of.
Yeah. So let's talk about what specifically we think is going to happen in Let's Go today. So they have said, we've had the leaks that we've had suggest that they're not going to talk about the July 1st March Occupy Central. They are going to talk about civil nomination, or they're going to at least address it in some way, shape, or form in this report that will then go to Beijing. Do you have any expectations for what's going to be in that report?
Also, the thing is, it is only a proposal by the administration to Beijing.
Right.
The administration,
is it a proposal as in this is what we should do, or just this is what is happening and this is what the people think based on our consultation? Or are they going to say we should do this?
I think they must have a direction. Otherwise, people will say, okay, the administration has to nail down what they want to talk about.
Right.
And on the other hand, all these people organizing Occupy Central will react.
Yeah.
And they've made it very clear. If it is not August, then it will be this month.
Right.
So, well, of course, I'm not expecting anyone going to Central on Wednesday to really do the Occupy Central prematurely. But I think it will kick the movement into the higher gear.
Because presumably whatever is published here as being sent to Beijing has been pre-approved by at least some of the factions in Beijing. Someone in Beijing. Given they have factions. Somebody. So it'll be interesting to see, what comes out and then what the reaction is to
And I think there's already a line in Beijing.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have to watch for what happens here, what happens in Beijing. Do we have a word of the day today?
Divide?
Divide. Okay, yes, the divide.
Divide is the word for the day.
All right, there you go. All right, thanks a lot, Simon. Cheers.